Good morning, November 29th, 2022. Windows daily number 105. Get an audio confirmation here. Daily number 105. That's got that. I see Ran Israel and Bobby Warren saying, "Where is Doug?" Ran says, "Echo, echo, echo." Do I have that call? It only would have been echo when well, actually, I wasn't broadcasting, I don't think, when he typed that into chat. I don't know. I only work here. I'm gonna put an extra chat room over onto this screen so that I can see if you're giving me a warning or alert that there's something going wrong. And I see Rick Lake saying hi. So today's subject is in response to an email that was sent to me. I did not find any chat room comments on this video prior to going live with questions. I did not find any on my video comments, but I did have an email that came in with a question. So I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on that question through this session. I'm probably not going to be interacting much with the chat room, perhaps until the end. Selden is saying echoes in an empty chamber. So what might be going wrong? Let me see if I've got the right microphone. Let's see, is this thing on? That's on. And I'm going to test my audio again and see if it's coming through here. And I'm going to test my audio. Yes, it's coming through here, so that's right. And then next I'll go make sure that my Blue Yeti microphone is the Windows default recording device. And here I can actually show you where I'm checking for that. Yeti, yeah, that's on the default. And when I listened to it, I didn't hear an echo when I listened to the audio. So somebody else give me an indication in chat whether audio sounds normal to you or not. And XSplit says it's using the default microphone. So looking back at chat room now to see what you're saying to me. Audio sounds fine. Audio sounds good. Echo, as in the chat room, is empty. Oh, okay. I got you. Rental modem Spectrum stored today to return my modem. The rental modem from Spectrum because he bought a modem. Okay, so I'm going to go focus my attention on the question that came in through email. And probably not going to be interacting with chat for a while, although I have chat up on another screen here in case you're telling me that there's a problem. Okay, deal. So I got an email from Austin. And Austin says, "Hi, Doug." I'm going to read it to you. I'm not going to show it to you because I don't want to reveal his email address and I don't have my screen set up to conceal that right now. He says, "Hi, Doug. I'm a new subscriber after seeing you on Carrie's channel. My question is, I have a Dell Vostro 3490 laptop that supports Wi-Fi AC. Will there be any advantages of upgrading it to Wi-Fi 6 or Wi-Fi 6E? Will I get better browsing speeds or will the speeds just improve for file transfers?" And he says, "I do have a Wi-Fi 6 router." Now, I know that there's people that are going to be in the chat room that have specific things that they want to say. You can go ahead and put that into chat, but I'm going to follow a certain path of responding to this question. Now, to start with, I'm going to go show you a little bit about what a Dell Vostro 3490 is, because some people are going to be questioning that, but I'm not going to spend too much time here. Dell Vostro 3490, let's see if we go to system information here, it tells us some basic information there, but let's go look at the processor. So his processor, CPU, should be one of these, i3, i5, i7, 10th generation. Memory would be anywhere from 4 gigabytes to 16 gigabytes, although many times memory can be added higher than what the original manual indicated by virtue of BIOS upgrades. And then his storage is, it could be an M.2 or a hard disk drive, and so on. So that's all I'm going to go for that. Just showing that he's a fairly modern computer. And then I want to go to a couple of bookmarks or shortcuts that I flagged. So if I go to my Live Windows Training folder here on my shortcuts bar and come down to Windows Daily. Here's this one for 11/29, November 29th. Then I put in these links here. So I'm opening each of those and come back up again and Live Windows Training and open the others. TP Archer, and then let's go to this other one. Did that give me all 4 of them? Wi-Fi 6 and then Amazon. I don't see the Amazon link, so let me go grab that one and over here and click to bring that up. So I think those are the 6. That's that's the Dell website, that's Amazon, this is Wi-Fi 6. So here we get into a website. This is Spiceworks, and I just did a Google search and searched for Wi-Fi 6V Wi-Fi 6E. So I just did a Google search, and that's all I did come up with this. So I'm going to start, there's both have security improvements, so 6 and 6E both have security improvements. I'm not going to focus on that right now because Austin's question was about performance. Now let's get to a very generic conversation about performance first. Isn't this the response to every question? Probably not every question, but here's the first response. It depends. It depends what you do on the internet, how often you're doing things on the internet. Are they complex websites, or can the websites provide faster speed than what you're getting? Is your internet speed up to snuff? Is your laptop located in a place where you're getting a good strong Wi-Fi signal? You might be getting a good strong Wi-Fi signal at the 2.4 gigahertz, but then you upgrade to Wi-Fi 6 and you find it's worse. That's possible. So let's go see, why is that? So let's come over back to this page. Both offer better performance than Wi-Fi. Now I'm going to read through this, but I'm going to make comments along the line. So hopefully it's different than if you just read through it yourself. Regarding speed, performance, and efficiency, Wi-Fi 6 and 6E offer significant improvements over Wi-Fi 5. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have a better experience with it. Coming to that part. For one thing, Wi-Fi 5 only supported the 5 gigahertz band, so devices that supported only 2.4 gigahertz had to connect using Wi-Fi 4. While 5 gigahertz offers greater bandwidth than 2.4, it services a smaller coverage area. Now here's the first thing. I really want to get this, locked into people's awareness. Some of you already know this. I know you do. 5 gigahertz offers greater bandwidth. Think of the word speed. Insert the word speed there for bandwidth. 5 gigahertz offers greater speed. Hang on. But it services a smaller coverage area. So if you're using 5 gigahertz band and you're finding that your speed isn't up to snuff, you might switch to 2.4 gigahertz, which is slower, lower bandwidth, lower speed capability, but you can be a longer distance away from your Wi-Fi router. You can also have more walls and furniture between yourself and the Wi-Fi router. So 2.4 gigahertz gives you can get a longer distance away from the router. Wi-Fi 6 and 6E both support 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz, offering your client devices the flexibility to choose the better option. So don't make the assumption that Wi-Fi 6 is a better option than Wi-Fi 5, or that Wi-Fi 5 is a better option than a Wi-Fi version that's working on 2.4 gigahertz. Now, also that 5 gigahertz and Wi-Fi version 5, those aren't the same numbers. Yeah, it's coincidentally the same digit, but they don't have the same meaning. So don't get hung up there. Offering your client devices the flexibility to choose the better option. Some other ways Wi-Fi 6 and 6E are superior to Wi-Fi 5 include the following. Both have maximum throughput. Now, by the way, I just glanced over at chat, looked at the last thing in chat. There's nobody telling me there that there's a problem with the stream. So I'm continuing on. Both have a maximum throughput of 9.6 gigabytes, capital B, gigabytes versus 3.5 gigabytes for Wi-Fi 5. So right there is showing us the maximum throughput that you might be able to get. Both have target wake time, TWIT capability. I don't know that anybody pronounces that as TWIT. Both have target wake time capable that allows devices to determine when they will normally wake up to send and receive data. This reduces power consumption and expands battery life of the wireless devices. So when they're saying both here, what both are they referring to? Are they saying both Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 6E, or are they referring to both Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 5? Well, this whole section here is about Wi-Fi 6 and 6E. So my understanding of this is that this is referring to 6 and 6E. So this target wake time, what does that mean? My deduction here, and I have not researched this or studied this, so if somebody contradicts this in chat or in comments, then I will stand corrected. But my deduction here is that when you're connected to the internet through Wi-Fi, there's not always a transmission going through, because you're not clicking to something new on a website. So target wake time, I'm deducing, means that after a period of inactivity of actual signals going between you and the internet, that your device will power down a little bit, just enough to be saving battery life, and then as soon as you do something, click on something, it's going to wake up again. This reduces power consumption and expands battery life of wireless device. Seems like extend would be a more correct word, but anyway. While Wi-Fi 5 only allowed a single user per channel, the newer alternatives allow up to 30 users in a single channel. Okay, in the 2.4 gigahertz band, and in the 5 gigahertz band, and in the 6 gigahertz band, there are multiple channels within there. So what this is showing us is that Wi-Fi 5 only allows a single user for each of those channels that are within that band. The newer alternatives, meaning 6 and 6E, allow up to 30 users in each of those channels, multiple channels within the 6 gigahertz band. Multiple support 8 MIMO beams simultaneously, while Wi-Fi 5 only supports 4, thus allowing more devices to connect simultaneously. Now, also here, I'm using a deduction. Somebody might know more about this than I do, but I'm taking this as radio beams, radio signals, 8 radio signals communicating over the 6 and 6E as opposed to 5 only supporting 4. Now, also, if there are people more technically knowledgeable about radio signals and you want to affirm what I'm saying, please do include that. In the end, more devices can, come on, get this right. In the end, more devices can connect to your access points with faster speeds and greater bandwidth, regardless of which standard you choose to upgrade to. So what's the point of Wi-Fi 6E then? See, up here they're saying, this whole section here was dealing with 6 versus 6E. More devices can connect to your access points with faster speeds and greater bandwidth, regardless of which, meaning 6 or 6E, regardless of which of these that you choose to upgrade to. So what's the point of 6E? The big differentiator that only Wi-Fi 6E has. Now, the reason why this purple highlight is here is because that's the Google search that I performed. It gave this as a result because I searched for Wi-Fi 6 vs 6E. That was my actual Google search to come up with this link for Spiceworks. This, let's see, while both standards support 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, so both 6 and 6E support the older gigahertz standards, Wi-Fi 6E does one better. It's the only wireless standard that supports the new 6 gigahertz frequency band. Thus, Wi-Fi 6E devices can operate within their exclusive area, thus bypassing the other two overutilized bands. Now, I think I might have said something earlier during this reading that was by mistake. I did come across this earlier, which I found this to be a little bit surprising, a little bit confusing, although I think I understand it, but let's go look at this. Wi-Fi 6E does one better. It's the only wireless standard that supports the new 6 gigahertz frequency band, meaning Wi-Fi 6, without the letter E, does not support the 6 gigahertz frequency band. Okay, that seems a little non-intuitive, doesn't it? Wi-Fi 6, you would want to deduce by simple reasoning that, yeah, that must support 6 gigahertz. But the Wi-Fi 6 version is not the same numbering. It's not the same thing as the gigahertz band. So 6E is the only wireless standard that supports the 6 gigahertz frequency. So if you want the advantages of the 6 gigahertz frequency, which has the 30 users per channel and the higher bandwidth, but less distance from the router than the 2.4 gigahertz band. So you're choosing your Wi-Fi version and you're choosing what gigahertz band you want to use. Thus, Wi-Fi 6E devices can operate within their exclusive area, thus bypassing the other two overutilized bands. What they're saying there is that your 2.4 band and your 5 gigahertz band might be saturated with all the wireless devices that are in your office or even your home. So if your device has 6E and your wireless router has 6E capability, the 6 gigahertz band, then you may be the only one in your environment, in your business or in your home using the 6E band. But even based upon the capabilities of the 6E band, it looks like you could have a lot of devices there using that without degradation. Quick peek over at chat. Nobody's telling me about any problem. This allows them to operate without interference from noisy legacy devices that still rely on legacy protocols. Because Wi-Fi 6 has been dedicated to wireless devices, you don't have to worry about interference from other devices such as microwaves. Now, I chuckled at that when I first read that because I did read through this earlier this morning. Let's get this. Because Wi-Fi has been dedicated to wireless devices, that's all Wi-Fi, either our 2.4 band, our 5.0 band, and our 6 gigahertz band. Dedicated to wireless devices, you don't have to worry about interferences from other devices such as microwaves. Now, I believe what that's referring to is that microwaves put out some electromagnetic interference that can cause trouble to radio signals. The way they worded that kind of implied that your microwave oven isn't allowed to communicate on one of these Wi-Fi bands, which I don't think that's entirely true, because I think you can have a smart microwave oven that does actually connect to your Wi-Fi. Yeah, I don't use those kind of devices. Think of Wi-Fi 6E as the commuter or toll lane on the interstate that gives commuters a dedicated lane to bypass everyone else clogging up the highway during rush hour. In this case, you only need a wireless client that supports Wi-Fi 6E. So they're just giving the analogy there. On the freeway, you've got this commuter lane or a carpool lane, I see it labeled as a lot, that allows cars to travel faster than the slower other lanes during heavy commute times, because the Wi-Fi 6 gigahertz is only available to systems that have the Wi-Fi 6E. You have to have that E. The new 6 gigahertz band was created for today's wireless workloads. It offers 59 additional 20 megahertz channels. Okay, back when I said in the 2.4 gigahertz band, in the 5.0 gigahertz band, and in the, gotta go this way, 6.0 gigahertz band, there's multiple channels within each of those. And what this is telling us here, that is in the 6 gigahertz band, there are 59 additional megahertz channels and 29 additional 40 megahertz channels. Now, I think that maybe, I'm not sure that this is right, but it might be that the 40 megahertz channels, within a 40 megahertz channel, I think there may be 2 megahertz sub-channels. Not really sub-channels, but those are actually treated as separate things. Devices working on the 40 megahertz channels can be communicating at the same time that those other devices communicating on the 20 megahertz channel within that same area. Now, again, not an electrical engineer, not a radio engineer here, but this is my understanding at this point in my experience. And if you have links and stuff, I saw Jeff put in a link a while ago. I will be checking on that after the stream is over. While 6 gigahertz still can't reach as far as 2.4 gigahertz, if you had any hesitation in your mind, any question, is that really what the truth is? There's a sentence right there that makes it real clear. 6 gigahertz cannot reach as far as 2.4 gigahertz. Now, this I know is not a very technically good analogy, but many of you, particularly if you got kind of gray hair like me, you know really well that back in the days of AM radios and FM radios, your AM radio station that you like to listen to in your local town, if you drove away from town, you lose that station quicker than an FM station. An FM station will go much longer distance. Now, I know that technicalities about why those differences exist is different than what we're talking about here, but the effect is similar. The AM radios could not cover as large of a distance as the FM radios. So that's kind of what we got here. 6 gigahertz can't reach as far as 2.4 gigahertz, but 6 gigahertz can operate much faster. Wi-Fi 6E access points come equipped with 3 radios to accommodate all 3 frequencies. So one radio for the 2.4 gigahertz frequency, one radio for the 5.0 gigahertz frequency, one for the 6 gigahertz frequency. Allowing distant devices to connect still using the 2.4 gigahertz if needed. So that Wi-Fi access point, that's your Wi-Fi router, or potentially you might have an actual Wi-Fi access point. Has 3 radios in it so that devices in your environment can be using any of those 3 communication standards. While Wi-Fi 6 supports WPA3 and OWE, those would be security implementations, these security protocols are mandated for all certified devices operating in the 6 gigahertz frequency. So minimum security levels are guaranteed. So if you're going to use the Wi-Fi 6, you're absolutely going to be on this level of security. One caveat, there's one small downside to Wi-Fi 6E, but it is only temporary. Although multiple Wi-Fi 6E access points are available on the market today, few clients support the new protocol that is still just months old. So what is the date of this article? Are we concerned about that anymore? Do they give us a date? July 1st, 2022. So it's a few months obsolete. Coming back down here. Few clients support the new protocol that is still just months old, but that will change quickly. And since Wi-Fi 6E infrastructure devices are backward compatible with Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 5 and even older devices, you can support your current wireless fleet while preparing for the inevitable future ahead. Conclusion, while upgrading your wireless infrastructure, the Wi-Fi 6 standard will offer you improved security and performance for your wireless environment. Taking the full leap to Wi-Fi 6E, which offers 1200 megahertz of new spectrum. So that's all those sub bands within the 6 gigahertz band. That 1200 megahertz there isn't referring to speed. That's referring to radio frequency sections within the six. That's what it's meaning by the word spectrum. Will maximize your upgrade intentions. The exclusivity of the 6 gigahertz frequency band and mandated security, you have to be at that security level to be using 6 gigahertz band, make the Wi-Fi 6E the logical choice for anyone looking to transition from their current Wi-Fi 5 environments. Now, getting back to the questioner, Austin. Yeah, I had to go back and look at his name. Sorry, shoot me. We don't know what Austin's pain point is. So when Austin is contemplating going to Wi-Fi 6 or 6E, it's quite possible that he's currently using Wi-Fi 5, 5 gigahertz, and he's a distance away from his Wi-Fi router, and he sees some lagging. He sees some buffering, maybe in streaming videos. Maybe he clicks to go to the website and it seems kind of slow. Maybe he does file downloads and it seems kind of slow. But if he's on the 5 gigahertz band and he's got some walls between him and the Wi-Fi router, or if he's a distance away, it's quite possible that a simple test would be to take your laptop near your router and test those same sluggish issues, because then that's indicating that you've got a distance problem, and upgrading to Wi-Fi 6 is not going to help you. It might even aggravate the problem. Let's get to another, okay, so another way to test is the sluggishness that you're experiencing, wherever it might be, I have no idea where it is. You could take your laptop near your, well, you wouldn't even have to be near the wire, the router, but plug it into a Ethernet cable. Does that pain point go away, or do you still have that same problem when you're plugged into Ethernet? If so, then Wi-Fi 6 is not going to help you. What is the pain point that you're dealing with? Now then, let's go on to another way that you might troubleshoot this to figure out if your problem would be fixed by Wi-Fi 6. So here's a Wi-Fi 6 TP link. That doesn't say 6E. Here's a 6. I think somewhere down in here we get a 6E. I'm going to try Control F and then search for 6E. And there, the first time it found it was up here in my search terms, up in the search field for Amazon. Go to the next one, and where did it go to? It's still, I don't see it. There it is. Here's a 6E adapter for third. Well, this is an internal. You'd have to take it apart for that, so we don't want to use that one. Go to another 6E. Here's, that's also a 6E as a card inside the device, and that's also a card inside the device. Here's one, a TP-Link 6E. That is a USB Bluetooth adapter. Does it say USB in here somewhere? Oh, there I saw there's a card. No, that's a card with an external antenna, so that's still internal. I haven't even checked to see if I brought these up earlier this morning, but I'm not sure that any of these are showing 6E. At any rate, what I was getting to is that if you have an Amazon Prime account, or if you're not otherwise adverse to returning a device, you could buy one of these devices, plug it in, and see how it performs. You need to identify what is your sluggish point. What is it that you want to operate faster? So that is my response. Your question originally was, will 6E, or let's see, going back to your question, will there be any advantages of upgrading it to Wi-Fi 6 or 6E? Will I get better browsing speeds? Browsing speeds indicates when you click on a link to go to a new website, that feels sluggish to you. Okay, plug in an Ethernet cable. Is it faster? If it is faster when you go to Ethernet cable, then that would imply that, yeah, you do have some kind of a speed bottleneck. But will Wi-Fi 6 solve that? It might be that you take your laptop closer to the Wi-Fi router and then you find it performs well. That means that you have a distance problem. If you're using the 5 gigahertz band now, then you should switch to the 2.4 gigahertz, and you may find that your browsing is much better than what it currently is. So at the beginning of this, in my first general response to your question, as I said, it depends. Have I made my point that it depends? We don't know what is your pain point when you're browsing the internet. So now I think I've covered all the things that I want to. I don't believe that Ken Stout has a broadcast this morning. I'm going to check on that right now to see if he has a scheduled live today. No, he doesn't. Then I'm going to go bring a chat room, and I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up and see if there's things that I want to respond to in these comments. Let's see, that is 9:03. This is not updated. This screen is not keeping up. Okay, there we go. There we go. So I'm going to look at Orange. See comment from Selden Ball and my link. Wi-Fi 6E will not be back ported to Windows 10. Oh, I didn't come across that. So if you're Windows 10, then Wi-Fi 6E is not going, you're not going to get the full features of that. Now, if you buy a Wi-Fi 6E Wi-Fi device for your laptop, will it still work on your Windows 10? Yes, it will, because it's back that it can operate on the 5 gigahertz or the 2.4 gigahertz, but you're not going to get the 6E benefits. Let's see that. Sorry, I'm not sure what that's referring to. I'm not going to worry. I'm going to go read through these in more detail later. What is target wait time? So Jeff's got a link here for a better description of target wait time. I'm not going to read through that now. If you care, well, let's go here. I see this in simplest terms. I'll take that. Target wake time is a new feature that allows an access point and stations to wake up at negotiated times. The stations and AP reach a TWT agreement that defines when a station is awake to receive data. Well, does it power down while you're actually browsing the internet and not actually clicking on something? That paragraph didn't answer that. I'm not going to go looking for that now because I need to wind this down. So looking back for other oranges, Echo and High Doig, and no other oranges here. We can look in refrigerators. We're at the store, Gary says. All right, so I don't see anything else there that jumps out at me. Jeff to Selden, this confirms your statement. Let's go see what that's about. And does my Microsoft Windows PC support 6E? So that's probably going to support the comment that Windows 10 doesn't support 6E. And again, I'm going to go read this later, but I'm going to go ahead and wind this down. Now, let's see. I want to know is I've got my email address on the screen as I'm winding this down, but I want to go back and look at Austin. Has Austin said hello in chat? I don't know what his YouTube name is. So I'm going to do a search in the chat room, Control F, and then Austin. There's nobody in there with the name Austin. Nobody has typed a message saying I am Austin. So I'm going to deduce that Austin is not here with us at this time. So here is my email address. You can send questions on something you want me to address during a Windows Daily or on a Saturday show. You can do that by email, or you can do that in the chat room comments, because I will read the chat room comments after I end the live stream. And you can put the comments on any of my videos, because I do check them on a daily basis to check for new comments on my videos. So that'll do it. I hope that was useful. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.